welcome curling fans to the final day of round robin at the Pacific Asia Curling Championship 2019. Look at the gorgeous 9-dragon sculpture in Longcheng Square, and aptly named that as we are in Dragon City in this area of Shenzhen, and you'll need all the signs to make sure you know you're at the Ice Hockey Hall, the Pacific Asia Curling Championship, part of the Shenzhen Universiade Sports Center. Of course, the big arena there. We are right next door to that inside for the final session of women's play at the Pacific Asia Championship. Australia takes on China, trying to set things up, heading into the playoffs later today and then into tomorrow. But you were able to tune in for this one. Let's meet the teams in our feature matchup. The lead for Australia, Carly Milliken. The second, Kristen Sorlins. Third, Jennifer Westhagen. And the skip of this Australian team, Lauren Wagner. They'll take on the Chinese squad, the host nation, their lead, Xiao Riyi. Second, Jiang Cindy. Third, Sheng Lijun. And the skip in her first Pacific Championship, Han Yu. Chinese team comes in at 5-1 along with Japan and Korea. Chinese Taipei sits in that fourth spot at 3-3 right now. Australia, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan holding on to a slight chance of a playoff spot at 2-4, then Qatar at 0-6. Here's how the last round robin games will play out. Australia, China, it's on Sheet B. Sheet C, Kazakhstan, Japan. Sheet D, it's Qatar taking on Hong Kong. And on Sheet E, Chinese Taipei takes on Korea. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Rona. As we get set for these games, teams trying to lead into the playoffs, finishing out with a win. As we see the last stone draw numbers, it'll be Australia with the hammer to start this game off. And Australia still has a chance at that final playoff spot, a game back of Chinese Taipei, who right now hold that final playoff spot. One last clean of the stone. Make sure it's nothing underneath. Just 4 of the 5 sheets in play this morning. The officials step away, give the green light to get this game started. Xiao Riyi.
Yep, China know they've qualified for the playoffs. They want to have a strong last round robin game.
China aggressively puts that center line guard out front. Carly Milliken.
Pretty good, yeah.
Just clean it.
Remember this team.
Just clean it. Yeah.
Not in Melbourne, out of Melbourne. Carly and Sydney.
Weight's good. Yep.
Where is it? Where is it?
6, 7, maybe up. Gotta curl a bit. Yep, go now. Yep.
Her father, Hugh Milliken.
Nice one, Carly.
Played many times for Australia.
Ooh, I went right near the camera.
好，开几区？6区。5区。
And her brother's playing on the men's team here. A family affair.
And normally Hugh will come and sit right next to us when we're on the sheet right beside us. I haven't seen him quite yet. He's probably milling around somewhere, of course, with his WCF duties as well. Oh, good come around for Milliken. That one comes up short. Australia had a disappointing game yesterday against Chinese Taipei. Coming in.
So
they win that one. They put themselves in the driver's seat to get into the 4th spot. And struggled, couldn't get on the board. And They end up shaking after just 6 ends.
Weight's close.
Yeah, then.
Think it needs it. Think it needs it. 2, 1,
Yep, gotta go.
2,
3. Yep.
2, 3, 3, 2, 3.
Open off then. Whoa. Good weight, Carly.
On the rules of play, 6
That's
ends
okay.
must be played before a team can concede. 38 minutes of thinking time, 1 60-second timeout.
OK，好。
顶线带着点儿。
5区，
哦，5区的顶，线路 OK。
5
区。
4、5、
等等线。
6
区就等一等。
5
区啊，等等线。等等线，下线。够粘着，等一等。下线2小。再来1，再来2。停这儿吧，停这儿吧。再来点，嘿。OK。12秒7。好停。
So just a wee bit short, but very useful for China.
Just come to it.
What'd she say? 3.
4.
Little bumps, okay.
What kind of weight do you think for me?
70, 80, 70.
Okay.
Lineup of stones right along the center line. Aggressive start early. Kristen
Hold
Sorlin's
it. Bumping. Little bump.
No bump.
8. Coming down.
very young front
6,
end, both
5,
25 years of age.
6, 5.
Yep. Little rub off the red. Okay, good weight.
Worried about that yellow tap as an option for China.
The wee rub off. Pretty good result. Guards the yellow. On to red.
顶线带啊，这个
5、
正常带。
4、5。这边外面4。
线路没问题，可以下线。
线路非常好啊，只是
Yeah,
力量
Cindy.
有点力。
正常。
Trying to go right around.
往下擦一下，哎。
Yeah, China don't have last stone, and they're quite happy Australia are putting up the centre guards. They can use them.
OK。这边有点4，12秒4。
Australia
比刚才那个
lines
脸
one.
4。上一个还12秒7呢，这12秒4都没那
For
个
a
走
team
远。
coming in, obviously 2 different sides for these 2 squads. China knows they have a playoff spot. They're trying to build to get into, it looks like playing a semi-final
72.
tomorrow. And Australia, small chance if they win, they get some help to get in. Playing a little more aggressively, a little fearless. Let's go have a good game.
6.
Yeah, Australia could be looking at it. We've got absolutely nothing to lose. Throw everything at it. But also from China's point of view, they're relaxed in one sense that they've already qualified. They still want to play well. They still want to put in a good performance before the playoff tomorrow.
That one doesn't get in behind. Now have access at shot stone. Sorlin's unable to get that one to get in behind cover.
OK。
Yeah, great opportunity now for China to remove both of these.
Shang Lijun
可以下线啊。下线来，下线，再下。OK。
unable to make the double, but we'll get that one out from behind cover. The shot stone is open now.
力量大一点。感觉劲儿还不大呢。我感觉没多大劲儿啊。我还感觉没有那种9秒的感觉，还觉得
Slightly more. I like that. Yours is a 70 again.
Australia nominated the tap. Again, need to be careful they don't leave a double here.
What do you think?
I think it's all there. I think we're bumping. Gotta
Yeah.
curl a bit.
Back house.
Jennifer Westhagen.
Yep.
Back house. You sure?
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Gotta curl.
Well, it was a good weight, just didn't come as much as they had anticipated.
So Australia with the hammer lies 2.
不太有，
没有。打水。打这个啊。9秒。
打上面你往外甩吗？我觉得打上面往外甩好一点。
打上面往外甩。对，我觉得打上面往外甩好一点。10秒吧，小点劲，快一点。再来一点点。
Are they playing this quieter to try and hit the top one?
10秒，
带着点。
Yeah, they looked at coming off the back one, but
9秒。
it's the top one that could do them more danger.
大头我们。
Yeah, really nice.
可以可
It
以
is。Australia line 1 with that nose hit.
Sorry， 挺好，这样挺好。压力甩不了了。
Came up very nice at the end, even with that weight.
可以可以。
我不太确定咱这个和那个哪个近。
So again, key here for Australia not to leave a double.
It's a bit out from last time.
Whoa!
It's up, back house.
Yes! Yep, hard girls, yep.
This one's a bit lighter.
Hard!
By the front, they won't. They'll crash on the guard. And we'll slide past all those other ones. Getting a hit. Chance to lie multiple stones without the hammer here for Han Yu.
A hair down, but it's close.
11秒5。哦，刚才对手打那个。
打个定，
加油，
加油，
加油，打定。好
10秒。
可以。行。
And the back red only outcounts one of
收
the
一点
yellows.
分，还是有一点掉线的。
Great chance to lie 4 at this first end.
And not a lot of easy ways to get in. You'd have to play the other turn, which hasn't been played a lot. Go out wider. Han Yu, 19 years of age in her first Pacific Championship. Count the yellows right now. They got 4 that are counting.
OK， 好球。
辛苦。
The only benefit for Australia right now is
感
that
觉好像是正常的，就没
there
有
is a hit and roll off the inside of the yellow
What sort of weight you throwing, board?
to get in behind the cover.
Tight ice.
Just about backline to hack weight.
Yep.
Okay.
I might get on him.
What was Jen?
That one
30.
she just threw was a 30.
Was it what?
30.
Okay.
We thought 40-ish was about back line.
Okay.
Top, top.
Lauren Wagner,
Clean.
You sure? Clean. Hack.
born in Canada, now lives in Australia, in Melbourne.
Yep, yep.
Trying to get the inside roll, but will clip off that
Sorry, girls.
first yellow roll out.
Okay.
Still China line 4.
I think it was. Go straight onto the back one. Surprisingly.
OK。
先喽，加油。
是不是点球色了？
背小死啦。
对，这边基本上6、7
啊
，7、5左右。
Just the difference with Australia. The last 2 stones they've
不要再稍
played
收
more
一
of a
点点。
hack weight. Whereas China have been playing a barrier take out. And Australia just not being able to hold them on that big swing.
really look at the speed and what it's doing. Took a little work, but the ice got very consistent throughout the round robin. The first couple days was really frosty. It started to go away a little bit. According to the time, that one is a little tap was too heavy.
I cut him down to 1.
We think about that.
That's the first side,
Let's go a bit more. Okay. Do you like that? Yep.
China
Okay.
do lie 5. However, there is a chance
So,
60?
for Lauren Wagner.
what sort of time?
Maybe 70. Okay.
She drawing? Yeah.
75?
75.
What time did you get on that? 75? 75?
Well, there is an opening. China and Han Yu would have been short.
It's a bit heavy.
Could have blocked off that path.
And we'll get a little,
They made it play that wide
chip off
intern.
that yellow.
We also think it runs pretty straight out here, so it might not kill as much.
Final shot here of the first end, Lauren Wagner and Australia.
Speed up! Speed up! Speed up! Backhouse! 10! Backhouse! 9! Yep, 10! 10! Whoa! Gotta curl it in!
Rona 13.5, where were they looking?
Yeah, China were 12.5 and they
Whoa, right off, right off.
were heavy, so this one's even heavier.
That's okay. Just needed to come up a bit more.
Well,
Good
plays
job, guys.
backline weight almost, if not hack, and taps that one. It's a steal of just 1, so they do cut it down. As it is China with the first score. A steal of 1 early on. Session 15, the final of round robin play.
一直投这边来的。哦。我要寻思让点上，可能还是碎了点的，但也没有。没有。它跟点球的时候差不多。第2局进营站位。行。
Second end begins the same as the first. China gets a steal of 1.
6区。哦，等一等，掉下来了。
Xiao Riyi.
暂停，暂停，暂停。
So the first end was the center line guard here.
6。
Come into the rings.
哦，暂停。阿晴，阿晴，辛苦。13秒。好。
Hack, right?
In Australia, just you go through all the scenarios of results in this session. Doesn't matter how all these 4 games play out. They won't be in the playoffs this year, but they want to try and finish with a solid game.
Whoa, needs a kill.
Yep, and in the women's game, because the top 2 qualify for the World Championships, the 3rd and 4th place will be able to play in the World Qualification event in Finland. So that 4th place is still up for grabs for other countries. They're still fighting it out. They dearly love to get that 4th place and get to a World Qualifying event.
First stone in, playing hits, and Xiao Riyi trying to get this one to hold. There's China with the open miss.
10秒6这个 ，sorry，
那是新打的线，没那么滑，然后。
So Australia with the hammer. How do you go about it? This early, you don't expect that miss. You put the corner guard up now.
Light. I just watch it, clean it. Needs it.
3
Needs it. All the way, girls. 3.
Yep, 3.
2.
Yep. 2. Yep.
corner guard goes out in front.
Sorry, I forgot it was
Let's
round.
look Chinese Taipei against Korea. First end of that game.
Korea line 3. Kim Eun-ji, chance to draw for 4.
A strong start for them. They're looking to finish off round robin. Of course, the 3 teams tied at 5-1.
Super standing back. That's going to stop in time. Big first end for Korea.
4-0 there. We'll slide over to see what Japan, who's also coming in at 5-1, taking on Kazakhstan.
Japan currently lying 2. Ikui Kirisawa. Draw for 3. First end.
Shane, way off. Back house. 9.
Going through between the 2 guards. Just needs to bite the rings. Has she made it? She hasn't. Comes up short. Missed opportunity. So just a 2 on the board for Japan.
Nice weight, actually.
Japan, China, Korea all tied at 5-1. Coming in, if they all win, there's a 3-way tie. And when it comes down to that draw shot. One spot definitely a big advantage over playing in the 2-3 semifinal. Little mistakes early in this second end by China rolling out. Open hit miss. Now the corner guard. Australia's going to try and use it.
Waist close. Think it needs a little. Think it needs a little. Bumping, I think. Bumping. Hey.
Well then.
9, 10. Yep. You sure?
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
10.
Want just to freeze on top of this. Bounce off.
Sorry, I just didn't know the weight was. Sorry, I need to.
Actually needed to hit that, otherwise might have slid all the way through. Makes the hit, rolls off to the side, and looks like just will hang around edge of the 12-foot, but more of a pocket.
Yep. It's quickened up a little bit.
Coach of this Australian team, Pete Menasan T-Vogs.
Middle up. We're gonna bump.
Where? 8. Back house. 10. 10. Line.
Got it, girl.
Yes, 10.
You can go now. Yep. Yes. Whoa.
Coach is watching on,
Yep, for line. Whoa. Whoa.
trying to work, and they'll like this one. That if you're going to be on the right angle, you can tap that one back behind cover. Marco Mariani, coach of this Chinese team.
13秒就行。OK。
Yep, you can see there, Australian counter, completely buried.
And the Chinese program has really retooled its coaching lineup leading into the games. They're full-time curlers, that's what they do. And really worked hard on the technical, and this young team, one that's playing at the Pacific, and trying to qualify for the World.
只能站上，不能。
那不行，那不行。
Said earlier, Rona, only 2 teams will qualify for the World Championship this week in Shenzhen.
OK，就飞去。OK。
Means
12秒9。
2 teams of the playoffs will have to go to that World Qualification
根本就
event.
不知道几区，我以为他。
And all these teams want to be at the Worlds. There's Olympic points at stake now. The next 2 World Championships.
I think it's really light. Really light.
I think.
What do you think, Christian?
Go on.
It's
Yes.
close.
7. Yeah, it's going pretty hard, guys. Yep, yep,
Yes,
yep.
fine.
Calling that it was light out of her hand.
Yes.
Trying to tap this one and it'll over curl.
Okay.
Have 2 buried, but
Okay.
It's okay.
shot stone still for China.
Yeah, the line was great, just a wee bit light of weight.
Although I got a weird time.
一半白的就行。
But 2
Okay.
nice counters behind the guard.
13秒。
Just love to be able to bring them into play.
13秒。OK。
13秒半想85。
行。
And China will be looking just to half check the reds. A lie 2.
力量，没等，六去等一等，力量
5区
5区
5、6、6、
6去等
6、6、7。
把这7、8呢？
It's got a lot of curling to do.
7、8、8、9。
我磕，能不能磕这个？
Hoping to freeze that top one. It'll slide past all of them. Now a great chance for Australia. It's Han Yu heavy with her first.
上上差多少？13差多大？
I guess she's going to play backline-ish.
Backline weight. So what sort of time?
Maybe backline. Maybe a bit more. Okay, back 12.
Oh, with that ice, no.
Okay.
I reckon backline. So what time do you reckon for her? 50?
I think you need at least back
60?
line.
Just bump it and roll behind the guard. Like that. Backline or? Yeah, backline, back 12. Okay. Do you remember what my last one was?
So with that one open,
From last in?
lying second
What
and
was
third,
Jen's system?
could hit and roll
It was a 40,
to the
but
open side
she
of the
got caught on
sheets.
both of them. Okay. One was
Almost
a little heavier, one
surely
was a
see a
little
hit
lighter.
from Han Yu and a
Okay.
chance at 3.
So I want to bet probably 50 or 60.
55.
Yeah, you don't want to roll over into that pocket because it just give China a bigger pocket to freeze on. Head and roll into the open.
Yeah, roll
think it's
behind
close.
the guard. You can actually,
Yes!
freeze can take the entire end away.
Yes! Yes, fine.
Yep, hard, hard. Yep, real hard. Hard as you can. Yep, yep, yep. Right up, right
A
up.
real big scrub. Milliken
Yep,
Sorleans.
yep, yep, yep.
And it'll go right
Sorry,
over
guys.
the face. Miss it all together.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Got a
big weight.
60 on that one.
Just a back ring to hack weight. She nominated the weight and played the weight, but she could really have afforded to play a barrier weight there.
I know. Just go off yours.
Very down weight to make that. Now China's
Yeah,
going to freeze the
包9了
top one.
9
Their lying shot.
Missed opportunity there for Australia.
Heavy with her previous stone. And
6、6、6。
now second shot at it.
非常好。6区。
谢科。
哦，等，提血，等一等。下线擦一点呢。不用了，不用。好强。OK。
T-line weight. 2 or 3 rocks, maybe a little deeper than they wanted.
你这个没给。
Does the job though to force
70?
the shot for 1.
Oh, she's just trying
Oh,
to
wow.
I think 80.
Yep, certainly does
What
do
was
the
that last
job.
one?
She'll be happy. The lie
I'm thinking
2.
of 70.
She could have been facing 3 there.
Do you like 70?
I like 70.
Yep.
We like 70.
70?
Sorry?
70. I'm just going to get on it since no one's played on this side.
It's a bit fresh, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we curl up, there's a bit of backing.
We need full 4.
Full 4, yep.
Second end, final
Take
stone.
it, Nathan! 3, 4.
Lauren Wagner
Yes, Ben.
needs to bite the 4 foot or better to get the
You
single
sure?
point.
Get it into the 4 foot. Yes. You have backing. Get it into the 4 foot.
Yep.
Yep. Far as you can. Far as you can.
Got it. Go, 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 go,
While
go,
trying
go,
to
go,
keep
go,
this
go.
one going, get it into the 8 foot, cut it down, get the 4 foot, get the single. And I think they just get it far enough. Great sweep.
Sorry, I died.
Zorlines and Milliken.
I died badly.
No, that's fine.
And it is a single point, so we're all square. Great sweep gets them the single. 1-1 after 2 ends of play.
Sorry, Kristen, I should have said I was coming off it.
That's all right.
I was just dead.
我有时候投洒。
我刚刚可以多收一点，然后就小兵带着。
对，就是，但是前提是走过的线，没走过的线还是那样。
一会儿
两边
往那边站。
A bit out wide.
Third end of play begins. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. It's the
Well, get it over,
Asia
girls.
Curling Championships 2019.
Frosty.
Shenzhen,
Over and
China.
up. Over and up.
We'll know the 4 playoff teams after this session and who will be vying for the title in 2019, but that one will not get over the hog line to start off the end for Carly
Sorry, I
Milliken.
should've- Hold on.
They tie from that last
China has made a few errors here in this game that they'll try
Just
to
out wide.
clean up later on, especially
Okay. No, no,
heading
that's
into the playoffs. They'll need to be sharper if they want to try and get that one of those 2 world qualification spots. And obviously the goal to be the gold medalist at the end of the week.
30正常往下插一插。哦，可以了，不插了。
20啊，
哦，那线掉下来了。
OK，
OK，
辛苦。
辛苦了。
15.5这个。
Again?
Yep.
I think it needs it. Just watch it.
2.
Yep, all the way. All the way. It's out pretty wide. 2.
It's over.
3. 2.
Close as you can get. Okay.
45.
Well, we've seen a lot of curl on the ice and important placement of these guards. That one well out in front, so tough to hide behind and not be accessible.
5，线路 OK。5、6啊。
6血。
线路 OK 啊，正常插。
7。
哦，等一等。
6、5、6。
下线带啊。
线路偏大。
力量啊。
7。
沙子在这，下线。
要插下线了，下
下线
线。
来，下线。
2。
再来，再来。
哦。好球，好球，辛苦了。
12秒6。
Again, China's corner guard is quite long. So although they've come around it buried,
You think it's 70?
Australia can come round
Little
too.
walk is okay.
think it needs a little.
Down to it, maybe.
Needs a little.
Whoa.
Coming down to it, bumping. Bumping. 10.
Gotta curl a lot.
Through. It's through.
No, it's not. It's coming down. Come on, okay.
Look at the separation between those two stones, the guard and the one in the house. They get to it,
Sorry, guys.
even with that big weight, relatively easy.
滑吗？挺滑的。
And aggressively going after it. Use that
13
corner
秒
guard.
顶线带啊，5、6、5区，5区4、5、5。
这样都可以啊，只是力量。
6、6、7啊，
正常往下擦一下。
等
一等线，下线。
还有7，
下线，下线。
这是小5区。
再下，再下，嗨 ，go go 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 go。
A really nice come around. Doesn't lie short, but that won't worry them.
Look over Korea and Chinese Taipei over on sheet E.
4, 5.
Korea lying well, 2 guarded in the center.
Yeah, sweep it.
Lin Haidi for Chinese Taipei,
Okay, whoa.
having to draw the forefoot.
Whoa, it looks fast to me.
Sweepers are standing back on this.
It's over. Hey. Gotta curl. Yep. Yes, fine. Yep.
She does have backing, but line's not good, and it slips right back. A big steal of 2 for Korea.
Well, tough start because coming into this session, Chinese Taipei holding on to that 4th spot. It'll depend what happens. The teams just below them at 2 and 4. Australia's trying to come down to that Chinese stone, just taps it a little bit. And here, Jiang Cindy. China can lie too.
10秒。下线。必须下线，再下。下线。下线，不打火。
好球，好球。
Hit and roll.
可以。
Spin very tight of whose second shot.
没擦掉力量。
Probably doesn't change the call here for Australia as we see all the scores. 1-1 our game. Japan up 4-0 over Kazakhstan. Hong Kong doubling up Qatar 4-2. You just saw the update. Korea getting that steal, so they're up 6-0 over Chinese Taipei.
Whoa. I think it needs it. What do you think? What do you think?
I think one's close. 7.
Yes, 5.
It's 8, 9. Yes, keep going. Yes. Keep going, line.
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh,
Sorry, that
well
was real heavy.
swept.
Yeah.
Able to get by, make the hit, tap that one right
I
through.
got 50.
Roni, you mentioned earlier, this all starts
I think
where that
does.
guard is placed. It's
'Cause
too
I
long,
thought
you
that was heavy.
can't really even bury a stone behind it.
Just look up again.
Yeah, when it is that long, you're almost as well putting out a second guard behind that one closer to the rings. So you've got double cover.
等一等。9.5。下线吧1。正常带着点。下线。往外旋。OK。
And that's where the lead stone placement is so critical in the game, because it sets up the whole end.
8秒7。一个接2个键。8秒7。一个接2个键，咱们。
It's okay having game plans, but you need the execution of the shots.
Put up! Control! I think it's gonna go! Yeah, I think it's gonna go! Yep!
These sweepers having to work hard today.
Gotta curl a bit.
Trying to get the roll in behind.
Nice shot, Jen.
I'll make the hit and roll to the side, so it is Australia. It looks like lying 2 at the moment.
Good call.
Bit up a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice hit and roll.
So Tom didn't get a photo. Got it at the back line. Made it.
Still an opportunity playing behind the corner guard. It's advantage China, even though it is Australia lying too.
Yeah, the counter of Australia's its top 12. China will basically use that as a guard. Come around it. So it didn't get the big finish after it did pass the top one, but it does lie short.
75?
Yeah, we just got to make sure we're...
It's got center, so 70. 70?
So Lauren Wagner draw down to it. I wonder if it's just a little bit straighter, because China's expecting a lot more to curl. Oh, we've seen a bunch just run straight.
Yeah, it does draw, but it's just not got the big finish that we've seen earlier on in the week.
And is that sometimes the wearing of the stones over the week? They're not quite as sharp. They've played that much more.
Yeah, combination, stones, ice.
Just clean. Yep.
The ice is
Past the tee, just clean. 8, 9,
fairly
10,
newly
right
lead
off, right off,
at
right
the start
off.
of the competition.
Not trying to get any of that one, and
Oh, sorry.
doesn't chip it far enough. It's going to roll off.
I think it was hot.
No, they just said live. Kristen.
That one through the house for
65.
Lauren Wagner.
Yeah, she didn't have to move it far for them to lie short. But she nicked it.
But yeah, 80, 85 fragile.
So real good chance now for China to try and use the hammer.
一半一半的点，白边让半刷就行。对。
And Han Yu has just seen the line coming down. She knows what to expect here.
没给力量。5区就行，下路 OK。5区，下路非常好，只是力量。自我。5区，哇，踩踩。加踩。4。34。
And this one's going to come up short.
OK。sorry， 这
It's
种
like
拉。
the compensation. You've been heavy with a few draws in this game, and then doesn't want to be deep. Ends up erring on that side.
So probably a 60.
75.
Oh, sorry, 70?
Yeah,
75?
I like that for this one, if you like that shot.
If I
Just
kind of
has
a
to
bit
be
heavy, we
very-
block that and make it a bit harder.
So a chance though for Lauren
85.
Wagner now to use that guard,
75.
come around,
Yeah, it'll be a bit fresh. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
get shot position.
If we get a bit tight, Kristen, just try and get it on the center line your way. If we put that
Yep.
yellow.
I think it's close.
Close.
What do you think, Kristen?
7. Gotta curl up a
Well then,
bit.
just clean.
Yeah, it's all there.
Well then, if it's heavy, just off, right off if it's heavy.
Sweepers think this one's
Back house.
heavy.
It's coming down, though.
Whoa, whoa.
Sit.
Just trying to
Oh, sorry, guys.
talk to the rock, trying to get it to listen, but overthrown,
Got an 80 on that.
and some misses
What is
both
it?
sides.
70.
Leads to a draw for 2 for China.
行，那白边就行。啊，这点就够吧。白边吧。行。
So Rona, with it being a little bit straighter, the ice surface, is it going to be quicker also?
Yeah, because with the big swing, that takes the weight off the stone coming in from hogline in.
13秒
It's starting to pull big, and
就好。
that does take the weight off the stone. So with it running a wee bit straighter, it will keep running on. So you need a wee bit less weight. Today,
also electing to draw to the center, a path that they will play it a lot in their pregame practice. Seen 13.5 all week long. Maybe even 14. You could probably get this one in there with 14.
Yep, just need to bite the 8 foot. 13.5, spot on.
That looks real nice to get in. The final shot here of the third. Han Yu, perfect weight to the 4 foot. And it's 2 on the board. China uses the hammer. Now have a 3-1 lead through 3 ends of play.
13秒5啊。
那还挺滑的。对呀。我那天说13秒、12秒5左右。进营呗。对，进营，咱进营，然后站位。OK。行，好，咱这样这么打吧。
So let's go a bit of a corner guard and then fiddle.
Corner?
Yep. Okay. My legs. Oh my.
China able to take advantage, use last stone advantage. Score 2 and mistakes from both sides. Trying to figure it out. A little bit of the ice, maybe a little bit straighter than it has been all week long. But China trying to sharpen their game up, heading to the playoffs. Australia knows they won't be into the playoffs. Of course, have to play this one out, but looking more and more of a Japan 1 seed with the draw shot challenge, then China, Korea in a semifinal, and Japan would get the 4th seed. Likely Chinese Taipei or Hong Kong, depending on how these 4 games wrap up here this morning.
No, I think it's on its own to tee.
Sorry, Lauren.
Sorry.
So corner guard just slips into the rings.
What'd you get?
It's quicker. It was a 60.
Yeah.
And her 70 going the other way hogged, so.
Lots of talk of split times of what they're doing. That one sliding in was intending to be a corner guard, seeming in certain spots a little bit quicker than others.
Nice nose hit.
China has that lead, but just really needs to focus. Let's put 8 shots together this end. The full shots, not a half shot. Don't just be satisfied with that you're leading in the game. Try and put it all together, because you know in the playoffs you're going to need to play better than what they're doing right now if they want to have a chance to win this title. Try and roll off to the other side in behind. And able to get that one just out of the rings.
What weight was that? Hack?
Yep, China quite happy right now. The house is open, they're up in the game. There's no cover out front for them to worry about.
Board.
tough way to try and generate offense with the hammer. No guards out in front.
Okay.
And playing these hits.
More.
That was a bit down.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
60 on that.
Have that guard slide in early. Sometimes you think, okay, I got to get into the hitting game, but the 5-stone rule, put the guard out, even on your second elite stones.
Yeah, because the corner guard's not going to harm you. You know, if you've got last stone, the centre's still open. You want to take that opportunity to try and get some cover.
再来，再来，好球，好球。
这也太搞笑了。
We'll wait.
我主要是我很诧异，我觉得我上一个点微微小一点点。
调整的非常棒了。
哦，我这个我寻思我往点上外面稍微。
You know, Kristen can hit this and roll over. Sit on top of the yellow. Make it harder for China.
Yes, yes, hard, girls, yes.
But
Yes,
this is
hard,
really pulling.
really hard.
Not going to hold it on the right side.
I've had to do a lot of work. Number of stones already in this game as it rolls to the other side of the house. Is in front of that one in the back, so Japan or China has to deal with that jam in the back. Keep an eye, Korea taking on Chinese Taipei, 6-0 as they play in the third.
Yeah, the Chinese Taipei do lie one. A chance here to go for a raise to score 2. There's not an easy draw. A lot of cover out front. So trying to raise red onto red. Just over curling. And the angle's no good. So it's just going to be a score of 1. Korea leads 6-1 after 3.
Like that way. There's 2 here. You can do that if you like.
Korea, China, and Japan all with just 1 loss. 3-way tie. They've all went 1-1 against each other. Goes down to that draw shot challenge that Japan did have the best throughout.
I think it
I
might
think
be
it's
light.
light. I think it's light. 3.
Yeah, then.
What do you think, Kristen?
3,
You
5.
sure?
Yep.
Line's good. Go. Keep going.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Trying to freeze on top of this.
Off. Sorry,
Saw
we
2
overslept
ends
that
ago
one.
coming down this line.
Sorry, Jen.
They went early, thought that they were light, and then it ends up sliding in behind.
Sorry about that, Jen.
That's all right. What was it?
60. 打一个呢？
行，
投一个都行。
投一个吗 ？OK，投一个吧，
好吧。
偏中间这边一点。5、6。
China don't need to do anything too clever here. Can just draw. Other side, lie 2.
线路 OK， 4、5，上台的线路没问题，只是力量5区，4，抬3黑，上抬3抬停，再来5，力量没问题，下线来，抓住位置啊，下线1，没问题，哦，还大一点，大了就往后擦，往后擦，再来，再来，哦，1再来的，再来，再来，再来，再来，再来，再来。
结果
我的心其实没感觉那么小。可以。
So everything in the rings here in this 4th end.
Even Australia could use that just as backing. Come up, freeze it, just tap it back. Try and maybe generate a 2 out of this end.
I think it's the case sometimes you're just not comfortable in where to put the broom to play that freeze.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Oh, you, Kristen.
Roll.
Sorry, Lauren, you're right.
Nose hit.
Good call.
打定8秒59秒 ，OK。 加油！
Han Yu, of course, still of junior age. Now here at the international experience, be a good week learning experience for her. They'd love to be able to have a learning experience and come away with a world championship spot for China. And makes the hit to Lai 2.
9秒 ，OK。
If we get half of that, we're not hitting the red, are we? We need to go that way. Okay. And separate them. Yep.
你看我那个边上那个，我其实我以为打谁了，掉下来了。我还说呢，我感觉，我还想我带球了呢，没带没带。他那我还觉得要放呢，给拐下来了。
We need to go your way if we can. Got to try and keep that red on the other side because it's out counting those two biters. Just board?
Yep.
What time do you reckon that is? 40? 40, 50?
Yep.
Close you can! Close you can! Just clean! Got a curl?
It's got a curl. Hey, it's got a curl. Got a curl.
Right off! Right
Got
off!
a curl.
Right off!
Curl over.
They want to try and roll to the other side. This one will roll, but it'll roll out of the rings.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I think it was board.
Yeah, I think.
China just draw to the center of the rings, and then it'll be a hit for a single point.
13秒5，
拿
5区。
Ever tempted here to try and just bring this one maybe half into the 8-foot? Force Lauren Wagner into a draw.
85。
Yep, they're good.
8590就行。对。
Right now they're probably thinking as long as we lie 2, we're forcing 1, then we're playing the scoreboard, we're 1 up with the hammer. Good position to be in.
OK 啊，支持力量，可以带着点。
5、6、5、6、6，
区了，力量带着1到6，刷子位置
7、8，
，8区没问题。8区这儿，1下来一点。1再
Going to go to
来，
the other side of the 4-foot.
再下，再来一
Zhao
点，
Riyi,
再来，插到停。
Zhang Cindy guiding this one down for their skipper
辛苦，这多大
back
呀？
of the 4-foot.
辛苦一。哎，没有。
7连。
还7，3秒4。
And it'll all depend how these games play out, who's in which semifinal. One women's semifinal is in this evening.
Need to
This
stick.
evening, the other one's tomorrow.
Time was
So
that? That was about a 40. Yep.
depending how it plays out, China could be playing that semifinal tomorrow. So this might be their last game action.
Yeah, I think the weight was
Till they
good,
play
though. Instead,
tomorrow.
it popped a little on
They
the
want to finish
release.
feeling good, playing strong.
As you say, they're a young team, it's their first Pacific Championships. It's all a big learning curve for them right now, every game they play.
That's the second trip for Lauren Wagner.
Yep, yep.
Trying to finish on a good note here. Looking for the hit stick, facing 2.
All the way, you got it. Yep. Yep, right up. Clean, clean.
There's the sound a skip loves to hear, clean. They get it on the nose and get their single point, cut into that Chinese lead. China will have the hammer back. They lead this game 3-2 after 4 ends of play.
That's not a bad idea.
还打那头吧？对，那边还打那头吧。OK，来，1、2，加油！然后我感觉就往边上头后退。
How many seconds?
5.
Yep. 1 of 3.
Yep.
Just clean it. Just clean it. I think it's all there though.
3.
I think it's all there.
And number 5
Just clean
of
it.
our feature game, Australia
Yep.
taking on China. Last round robin game for the women's
All the way,
side.
girls.
Determine the 4 teams into the playoffs. Carly
Oh,
Milliken
really
in Australia
nice.
will
Yep. Close, 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 close.
to
close,
get
close,
that
close,
centerline
close,
guard.
close. Okay.
Try and put some pressure on China. Here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019.
I don't know.
I think it's yours is first every time going the other way.
And Rona's a coach of a team. Talked to us throughout, and sometimes these games that may be a little bit harder to stay focused on. China knows they're into the playoffs. Can't really control where they finish in this game. You want to work on things. You want to make sure. Let's put a good guard position. Let's really make sure we generate our 2 with the offense. Doesn't matter what the opponent does. Let's make our shots.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to remain focused, concentrate. They've got their goals that they need to work on. See, they are a young team. Every game they play here, they'll be learning from. Coach will be taking notes.
I think it needs it.
And also they're working with a new coaching lineup set up. You know, it's all new for them too.
Whoa, 6.
Still getting used to each other.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
7. Whoa. 7. 8. Oh. Okay. Okay.
I've mentioned it a couple
Sorry,
times.
just a bit deep.
They are a junior
Needs to be a bit
Han Yu, junior eligible player. She's just 19. So big stage for her at this point. And working with this team, trying to really get a good feel, that cohesive unit that they can go out and put together a solid game, trying to have a good feel leading into the playoffs.
7 啊。等一等。还可以啊。
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, if the scores, you know, stay the way they are right now, and Korea and China don't play till tomorrow, you've got that longer spell to dwell on what's about to happen.
We'll slide over, keep an eye, Hong Kong, Qatar, Hong Kong. There's a chance at that 4 spot. A win gives them a good chance to get into that 4 spot.
Yep, Mubaraka Al Abdullah facing many Hong Kong counters. Just trying to play the nose hit on the 4-foot.
Back house.
Oh, and slides past, hits the back one.
Yeah.
And it's a steal of 3 for Hong Kong. They extend their lead 10-2 after 4. Have to fear that that game's slipping away from Qatar, and Hong Kong need the win for the playoff place.
Yeah, they've finished 4th the last 2 years, making the playoffs. Win there, have a chance to get back in, depending what Chinese Taipei do, but they're down in their game as well. We know that 3 teams at 5-1 are in. That's China, Japan, and Korea. They all win, so they all are on the scoreboard right now. If they hold on to that, it would be Japan getting the 1 seed because of the draw shot challenge. China, Korea would play in 1 semifinal. And Japan would play the 4 seed. As China tries to get around this guard here. That's on the front. Here are those standings. China, Japan, Korea, all 5-1. Then Chinese Taipei is at 3-3. But Hong Kong at 2-4 can still jump in and get into that 4 spot because they did beat Chinese Taipei in their round robin game. These were their draw shot challenge numbers of the teams that qualified: Japan, Korea, and China. Look how tight it is for that 1 spot. Japan, 34 centimeters average. That means they get that #1 seed. That is a big difference from being in that semifinal to take on Korea, as Korea now will play, looks like we'll play China in one semifinal.
What do you want it?
There's all right. Okay.
Just thinking 80, Kristen. What was that? That was a 90. So you threw the time there.
That's what we wanted.
I know.
And it shows the importance of that draw shot pre-game. You know, they really need to focus on that.
And the players were aware of it also coming in. They were looking over, watching the other sheet. Japanese team was watching Korea throw theirs. And it was interesting to see because all three of those teams that were battling under the draw shot challenge, all were in second practice and throwing their draw shot challenge at the same time.
I think I'm probably 70.
Just a different element, adding in on those tiebreakers.
Guys, I think it needs a little.
4. Yep.
5.
5. Yep. 6.
Well, 6.
6.
Room.
6.
6.
6.
Coming down to
Go
it.
for line, I think.
I think it needs a little.
Whoa. Go for line, I think. Yep. It's bumping.
7.
Playing behind this corner guard.
Whoa.
Yep.
And that one just over curls a little bit. Had real nice weight that if they're able to hold the line,
Just stayed up close to it, sorry.
outcount that Chinese stone, but just a little bit off now.
55.
Used that lineup of 3 stones out in front.
Yeah, great position for China to come around and half check that red, lie to, and make it very difficult for Australia to move it. And what's good about the draw shot challenge pre-game as well is that all 4 players are involved. Years ago, it always used to just be the skip, or you would nominate one person to throw a draw shot, whereas now all 4 players are involved in that.
And you have to throw 1 clockwise rotation, 1 counterclockwise. And it's got to even out throughout the number that you actually throw throughout the week in a round robin. It's not 2 players can throw every game. You got to balance it out and throwing the clockwise and the counterclockwise rotations.
I think it's all there.
I think it's all there. 8.
So because it is so important in your pre-game practice, a lot of effort is put into getting that line and weight right for that shot.
Yes, hard, girls. Yep.
All yours, Kristen.
Yep.
Well, they want to try and sit on the corner just in front. So you see those Australian stones in front of the 2 Chinese in behind. Stone placement huge.
What was that? Good communicating there. 50.
Yeah, it's the big focus of the pregame practice, especially late in it. First team will practice, break down the ice a little bit. The other ones will basically get that draw weight, find out the draw to the button and that path.
It's not easy for China to remove this Australian stone. Just want to come up. Just tap it. Yeah, really nice.
Nice sit. 1-2 at the moment. It is China with the hammer here, a 3-2 China lead.
应该再顶一点啊，不对，应该再掉下来一点点。掉下来一点，好像得。
Just throw enough weight that you're going to spill them, or like I think maybe control to make sure
Forward up.
Get them out. Yep.
Control. Forward up.
Oh, wait.
It will curl. Can you get across the face of this enough to make the double?
Is that board weight?
Forward. Sorry. Forward. Yeah. Forward up.
So that is Lauren Wagner is going to go after with the quiet hit weight.
Yeah, the guards are still fairly high up, that you can definitely get past them and get to the inside of that top yellow.
Just forward!
Yep.
Yeah, get down! Wait! Yes! Yes! Hard!
On this early,
Hurry hard!
started drawing.
Another big sweep from the Australian side. This time,
Right off.
Sorleens and Milliken can't get it by the front.
Okay.
She knew she had to be close to the guard.
Yes! Hard!
A lot of sweeping there. Milliken on the left, Sorleens on the right.
Really hard!
Roll. Whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Right off. Right off.
It's the fifth end. They'll be needing a little breather at the fifth end break. It's a lot of time up and down the ice trying to make some shots for their, help them with their shots on the back end.
90吃。
行，这边
偏
13秒来
上面边一点
吧。
这。
偏12秒5一点1。
这个位
23
置
秒。
80。
哦，收一点点。对。
Skip stones
力
for
量，
Han Yu.
等一等，1单，这边1单，6，7区8区，7，1单，6，下不门平，8区要8区
8区得抢。
下线来点，下线，来，他的加油，上，继续提
On
后
the switch of the sweeping, try and get it to curl a little bit more as they continue to drag it back right to the tee line. Not quite as deep as they wanted it.
Yeah, back four really was what they wanted. There is a chance for Australia to hit that, roll over.
Like that shot,
Yep,
but-
just where the brush was there, and they can lie shot.
Same way.
They thought about corner freezing on the.
Yep, I like that.
That's
I
a
think
hard
the
one too.
swing's similar.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to cut them down from a 3 to
That's
a.
on the center.
Yeah.
Okay. That sort of weight.
And this is what we were saying about the learning curve for this young team.
上一个是13秒5，
It's all about stone placement and what you leave your opposition.
上一个。
So it's situations like this that the coaches will feed back after the game when they have their debriefs. Where's the best place to put your shot? What side do you err
Rolling
on?
your way, Carly.
Yep.
Try and get on top of the other side.
Sure.
Well, trailing by 1 in the game. Get
Forward,
roll.
boys!
Really taking a big end away from China. Again, Milliken, Sorleens go to work.
You need to catch the inside of this to get the roll.
But they will not. They can hold it for their skipper. It's going to be a nose hit
Sorry, in
for
the end, I was trying to
3.
avoid the straight jam.
9秒，加油！
Needed more ice.
Yeah,
good
I
weight.
just didn't want to flash it on this side.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
that quiet tap around the guard. Miss on the double. Shang Li Jun able to make a key shot, making that tap back. Last stone, 5th end for Han Yu.
1，好，1下，1踩到平，1再下1，再下点1。
Oh, and won't be able to. Hits it on the high side. Could have been anywhere on the inside. And a missed point. So only the 2 for China here in this 5th end.
我打也没下
They
来，
extend their lead,
我那劲儿
but it
小
could have been
冲
more.
不住
A 5-2 game into the 5th end break.
上一个4
China
打的
advantage.
也值。
嗯，对，
中场，
没事，挺好。
中场了，走。
Well, feature game, second end, Australia with last stone.
Think it needs it.
Draw and pick up a single point.
Bob.
Yes, Ben.
Bob.
Yep, Ben. Really hard.
As hard as you can.
Got it.
Oh, the big
Go, go, go,
sweep.
go, 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 go.
Westhagen jumps out to help Sorleans get it just far enough. Great sweep, great job by Australia. Team shot to get their single point.
8285，这个点呢
Third end is shot stone for China, an opportunity. Play the draw for Han Yu. He's into the 8-foot or better.
小一点，练问题要带着带着。
皮线6。
And no problem, just a light clean by the sweepers on this one to get it into the 4-foot.
辛苦这朵拉。
A 2 with the hammer by the Chinese.
行。
但这个是不是给了点儿？给。
And in the 4th end, facing a couple no guards all end. Pretty open play. Wagner needs to hit and stick to score 1.
Yep, right up. Clean, clean.
They're looking, and Sorleans just a clean most of the way. Australia gets it on the nose. Get the single point with the hammer. So it is a 5-2 China lead in the break. Kazakhstan trails Japan 7-0. On sheet B, on C, pardon me, Hong Kong leads Qatar 10-2 in their game, and it's 10-1. Korea leading Chinese Taipei. The last round robin. Here's the standings. Last playoff spot still up for grabs. Right now, 3-way tie atop. China, Japan, and Korea know they're in. Semifinals still to be determined. While Australia, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan on the outside looking in,
girl.
coming
Focus
into the
on that
session.
and work better on that. Let's
Okay.
go. Chayo. A never.
Give up.
Yes.
I like the way you call the game.
Yeah.
The way you call the game, you make it a little bit simpler for yourself. Don't take too much risk.
Okay.
Be sure to score the right end and get back to that way. That's cool.
Okay.
Take it easy. You look cool.
Okay.
Still to play curling. Good. Still to play curling. Good.
Thanks.
Selena.
We stick to the plan we talked about.
Yeah. Do you think on that sort of in-turn going down that way, that am I throwing it a bit wide, or should we take a bit less ice?
We'll go a bit less.
Okay.
Or we can go on the other side.
Can I narrow on my intent?
No, yours have been a bit better. Like you had some that went the normal way, like the little pop thing. That was good. I think those ones was just a bit of weight, but.
Well, and here are the numbers through 5 ends. China with that 5-2 lead. And the numbers showed as well. Overall percentage, 83-58 for China. Draw percentage, 87-56%. And hit numbers lower for both sides, 76 for China, 63% for Australia. 1 stolen point. Australia has the hammer as we will get set for the 6th end of our feature game. Well, high above here inside the Shenzhen Universiade Sports Center, playing host to this year's Pacific Asia Curling Championship. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. And we are down to last half of this round robin session. Determine placement for those top 3 teams. Who will get into that 4 spot? All things hold out the way they're playing. China would be playing Korea in the 2 versus 3 semifinal tomorrow. Japan would play Hong Kong in the other semifinal tonight. That first stone goes into the rings. You heard Soren Graham, not actually coaching this team specifically. He's more working closer with the men's team, but he's been on the bench for both sides throughout the week and says, I like the way you're calling it. Let's just keep it simple. No need to take the risks as much in this one.
3-4.
Go out and have some fun here in this last one.
I think it's a 4.
Yeah, 4.
Marco
5.
Mariani says,
5.
let's go play
down,
curling.
maybe 3.
Dig. Dig, 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 dig. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
Oh, trying to talk to this one to stop, looking to get the corner guard.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
See that so many times coming out of the 5th end break, that guard sliding into the rings.
9秒，9秒就行。
Yeah, Australia really need to get the cover up. Need to put a bit of pressure onto China.
哦，下
So
下。
60% for Kylie North and 88. Xiao Riyi.
踩踩嗨，嗨嗨
I'll
嗨。
try and roll it in. We'll get it right on the nose.
哇，再1秒5，离我越来越近。
Australia could put up a long guard here on top of that
好球。
yellow, because that yellow could be used as cover for them later on.
下线。后期有点太。
But they seem to be reacting more to shots in front of them rather than themselves having that game plan of getting their corner up. Carly's not curled for very long. She's said she's probably played only about 40 odd games of curling. She's a championship swimmer. She swam in the Olympic trials for Australia.
Pretty good, Carly.
Just missing out in an Olympic place.
Just board.
Was no stranger to being around it with her father playing many international events and world championships.
13秒。13秒偏12秒5一点点。
正常的，正常，踩踩
Zhang
嗨。
Cindy, 80% on the game.
没有踩一踩。
我等一下。6，可以下线擦一擦，小一点，下线擦，偏小一点啊。下线先会好，上来。哦，好球。
不随便。
好球。
Oh, just out in front, controller on the center line. They played the little tap back.
Do you think a 40?
Australia known more for their summer sports than in the winter. And Kristen Sorleens actually was a ball kid at the Australian Open in Melbourne, where it's held. Memorable sports moment was holding Roger Federer's sweaty towel as a ball kid.
Oh, we're gonna get nuts. Yep, yep, yep.
Just trying to keep it in front. Plays the tap back, pushes that one through.
So, a 50?
So trying to put up the long guard, and it just leaves the chance now for Australia to raise their own red.
It's been light. I think it's hack. I think it's not.
Yep.
Hey. Yep. Back out.
Yes.
Go.
Yes.
Hurry.
Yep.
Hurry.
Yep.
Hurry.
Yep.
Hurry.
Yep.
Just slightly over curled, but didn't really have enough weight to push it through. Just wanted to tap it back. Unfortunately, the Rowan stone comes out into the open.
哦，对。
再来一点点。
Australia have got some cover here they can work with. %90%. Zhang Lijun.
9秒5。
So Solid game from her today.
下线，往正常带，往，下线，再下。OK。
Nose hit. This is that simplified game a little bit. It's open. I'll just make the nose hit.
8秒7。好球。Yep.
How would you rather that one?
I like that.
Australia with the hammer, they're not really playing to the wing. You try and get to the corner guard. They do have some guards to hide behind to try and use. Got the Westhagen, 78%.
Important if they are playing the hit here to get the roll inside.
Real hard. Oh, yes. Real hard. Real hard.
Trying to hold this one,
Oh, sorry.
but nothing the sweepers can do despite a great sweep.
Sweepers have really had to work hard. I think that with their down weights, they're just needing to take that wee bit more ice.
Just the release here. Anything on it? Just a matter of being down weight.
Yeah, I think just down weight, took the draw early, and sweepers couldn't hold it.
Oh, sorry. 13秒 OK 可以
But if they are happier playing that slightly down weight, then all you do is just take more ice, and then you can keep playing the weight you're comfortable playing.
And throwing a different weight than from China, so they can't really use their ice as an indication of what they need to play.
Australia have certainly been catching everything on the tight side. A really nice shot there from China.
减下来了，哦，减下来了，不随便。
就到那个标那块一下就停下来了，减下来了。
Not deep position that you have to tap it back in order to out count it.
我刚要扫，不擦了，天天吧。
这块挺好的，对。比再往前停一点好。
See the three that they're facing.
如果再往前的话，就往外一点点。哦。 他们能掉下来呀。
Yep. All yours, Kristen.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
Nestles right up to shot stone.
这点吧。行。往里甩。 OK， 加油！10秒。10秒，往里甩。好。可以。
So they want to try and roll on top of their own, roll away.
Yeah, they don't want to leave a double here for Australia.
10秒5，嗨，10秒5，嗨，往1再下
，With the red being slightly higher, they could.
OK.
Yeah, they could have got the inside roll, but
9秒6。
it's not bad there.
OK，
9秒6，辛苦。
That doesn't make it easy now for Lauren Wagner.
9秒6，我怎么感觉那么小呢？1再下，1。
OK。
Similar.
She wants forward, I'm assuming?
Okay.
What was her time on that last one?
15?
Okay.
Chinese stones top of the button. Australia really needs to try and move that away here.
35?
Just come down to it, try and don't have to remove it, just tap it back.
Yeah, just get it away from the top of the button, even if you're tapping it back 4.
Yep, same.
At least it can give you options with your last stone.
Kristen, you take it past those guards, yeah?
Now getting a sweeping plan. On this one, Lauren Wagner has struggled in this game.
Clean. Forward. Yeah. Going up. Yeah. Whoa. Just
Trails
clean.
5-2. A couple of shots, they can set up a deuce though.
Got it, Carol. Yep.
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 All yours, Kristen.
Yep.
And we'll get that one out of the 4-foot. More weight than I thought she was going to throw. I thought she was going to try and get to the one in the right on the top of the 4-foot. Still China lying 2.
Yeah, opens up that scoring area now for Australia with their last stone.
不13秒5 13秒5好，加油，859零，行，就正好出手给一点点那种，60啊，好 ，OK。
But I'm sure you're going to see Han Yu come around to the top of the 4 again.
Here's a look at the time. We've seen 13.5. Be right to the 4-foot.
45吗？45，加油，擦一擦。
Sweepers on this early.
擦一擦，擦一擦，没问题。
Don't think she gave this one enough as you see them dragging it.
这么突然吗？
They're worried initially that they got up there to sweep.
再来一，下停，再来一点，一再来，一还得下一点，再来，再
But look at them just continue to go and how much quicker it go.
辛苦。
Reaction that they were almost giving up that it was going to be light.
完全变成56，这么
Got into a good path.
好行。
Is there a triple on?
我加14秒，我加27秒7，我加14秒。滑了，滑了。
Think about an 80.
What do you reckon?
Do you reckon 80?
This side is a little bit fresher.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty speedy. 85.
You're thinking 80?
80? 80? 80. It'll be fresh, guys, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to get on and clean it.
I think you need to be on it most of the way.
Yep.
Well, this is the path to try and draw down and get your single point. They have to play the other way and actually move it if they want to get their
They
one.
can afford to skinny that yellow.
Then the other side, you'd only have to tap it just through the 4-foot. And they know the line there to play that tap back weight. You wonder if that would be an easier shot. It's quite a tough draw in here.
I think it's all there.
I think it's all there.
Lauren Wagner's final shot of this 6th end, trailing 5-2.
Yes, tick.
It's back house.
Yep.
Well, calling the audible, trying to get the little tick off the side.
2-way tick. Ah.
Now we'll tick off the top guard.
Gotta get it in. Whoa.
And will it spin in to cut at least
Sorry,
one
guys.
down? It'll cut one down.
That curved more than I thought.
2 yellow.
It is going to be a steal, and it looks like a steal of 2.
Was the.
And they will measure for the 3rd one.
2 for sure.
So it was just heavy down there.
Yeah, but
Just threw too much weight. It was on the guard right away. If she threw the right weight, was going to be crashing even more.
好像，
Do whatever you need to do in terms of
但
water.
是好像是红的近一点。
That.
能看出来吗？
And here's this final shot. Lauren Wagner.
I think it's all there.
I think it's all there.
Back house.
Can we do a
Back
little
house.
tick? Little tick. Little tick.
Now they're calling for a tick early.
Yes, tick.
It's back house.
Yep.
2-way tick. Ah.
Well, touches the front,
Gotta get it in. Whoa.
and it actually will just spin in. And as they were getting the measuring stick, the Chinese team took a look and were like, no, we're good. It's just 2. It wasn't really that close. As they take another look. So 2 more for China and a 7-2 lead after 6 ends.
1、2，加油！
然后我可以尝试10秒打一打，我有点不太敢打。
行行行。
对，因为其实没想。 01。线路 OK。5、6，场大，大着点，线路特别好。
So back-to-back twos for China, a 7-2 lead. Play end number 7 of session 15.
6区，7。
If you've been enjoying our coverage here from Shenzhen, China, Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019. First stone going a little bit deep in the rings for China. And Australia really look to try and get the guards in play, try and use them to their advantage.
Clean it. 2. Whoa. Looks plenty. Looks plenty. Looks plenty.
4.
Looks plenty. 6.
3. 4.
Oh, just.
Well, that is tight to the rings. Can actually be used where it is because of how tight
much
it
less
is.
weight on that one. Well, I thought
May
I
need
did.
to put a second guard up later.
Yep, any cover is good for Australia right now.
这顶线带。6、5。这球可以带着啊。前区啊。线路 OK， 4、5。5就行，4、5就行。5区够了。OK。刷子。哎，6。不能擦了，再擦6了。可以先高一点，自然停就 OK。好球。好球。
So the first two go in. 5-point game. They got no
Sorry,
worries
can you repeat the shot?
about putting guards.
What?
T-line.
Yep. Thank you.
And Japan picks up another win. So with that one, they'll finish round robin 6-1. With leads by the other one-loss teams. Japan looking strong to have that number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. Hugs all around for the Japanese side.
8, 9, 8.
One loss coming at the hands of China.
Sorry, Carly. Good weight.
Chips off that front one. They're trying to freeze that back stone. Not having all that time to be on the ice. Play all the games. The strategy is coming into the rings early here in the 7th end, trying to generate offense. The guards are really, you need to take advantage of that free guard zone.
Yeah, definitely. They want their lead to be putting up cover with both their stones. China were quite happy. They've lost the back one. And they're too spread around the head.
That's probably a better result than nosing that in the pocket. Watch the stone come in on you. Have to do a little dance as well in the rings.
Yeah, because that back one was something that Australia could use to freeze. So China are quite happy with an open head.
All there.
Back house. No.
No, it's coming down.
Got a curl.
8. 8. Think it needs a little. Think it needs a little.
It's light. Curl still.
6.
7. Yep.
No, 6.
Yep. Hurry. Good shot, Kristen.
There's the freeze. Try and use them in there.
What'd you get on that?
78.
Yeah, I got 82.
China's going to go and blast them. And makes that one get out of the rings. Just getting out of the rings. So it is China lying 2.
不要出手正好。
Bumpy! It's close! It's close! 8, 9! Whoa, 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 whoa! 9!
Yep.
9! It's heavy! It's heavy!
All Australia can
Whoa.
do is use these Chinese counters to try and generate something, try and force an error out of China.
Sorry.
And the freeze is such a difficult shot. You're just a little bit off, weight or line. There's a
往外甩。
result. It's in the open. China can play the hit.
他咱现在有一个转。
行行行 ，OK。9秒。9秒。 带着点。9秒，带着点。嗨，小嗨。9秒。5。9秒。5。下线吗？可以下一点。下线。好球。好球。
No problem.
亲自薅掉了我一根肉。
A very simple strategy.
小了一点。
China
啊，感觉到了。然后
with this lead, just
对
make the hits.
靠感觉。
Yep, just playing the simple shots
Two
well.
on white.
Just like back line.
Yep. Okay.
So like a 60.
Yeah.
Now like this, just use those stones to your advantage. Move them around. Try and keep your shooter in front. That's what Jennifer Westhagen will look to do. 23-month-old son, Josh,
Close!
turning 2 soon.
It's all there! Act!
Terrible twos.
Back! Yep! You sure? Yep! Back house!
Yep. Yes, fine. Yep. Yep.
Yep, yep.
More important where the shooter finishes here. Wanted to try and keep on top
That's okay.
of the yellow.
Could almost got off a little bit to see if it rolls off in behind that corner guard.
清一个吗？对。盈利的呢？咱俩进。
Still
打盈
China
利的
lying
呢
2.
打不着盈利打外面的。啊，行。啊。大力。啊。大力行。
Couple different results. They can go and make the one in the rings, or they can come off that top one to lie 3.
哇！下线，下线，正常带，下线，下，下线，可以的，多下。
Well, and they'll get the one in the rings.
好球，可以。
Separate all those yellow stones, and looks like they'll lie 3. Very close on the one at the back.
我把它出去了，你看。
So now here's an opportunity.
正常带，下线，下。
That one just bringing their own open. Pushed it back.
好球。
Now a chance for you, Australia, to come in and freeze. Dead on top of that.
It's close.
Four.
It's close.
Make
Just
sure
a little.
get it.
Just a little.
5.
Yep, needs it.
5.
Yep.
7.
Yes.
Yep, gotta go.
Yep. Yep.
Gotta go.
Yep. Yep.
Far as you can.
Yep. Right up. Yep.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Far as you can. You got it. Keep going. Yes. Yes.
Put their heads down and work,
give
but
you
it
enough
will
ice
over
chance.
curl. Weight was absolutely perfect.
What was that?
Is it out? 65.
That one hit.
走，加油。这个点。
Not even trying.
行。
Get cute with this. Just make that red one go away, even if you lose your own yellow.
Yeah, definitely. China won't be upset about their own yellow going as well.
Wow. 下线一下线。Hurry, hurry. Whoa. Okay,
Oh.
好球。
Okay.
Picks that one, spins it right out. for Han Yu. Skip stones of the 7th end.
Right there? Yep. I'll go 85 and...
The down to it's okay, so maybe 80.
Okay.
Do we want to freeze on top or what do we want to do? Sit just
Sit, I think sit.
in front?
80? 80? That's what Jen thought. Cool.
If they freeze this back one, they will lie short. So that's the question of Han Yu.
It might start frosting up a bit though, eh? Yep. Just keep cleaning it.
Don't think on this one.
Right down to it. Be a real nice shot here.
Close! Real close!
7!
Nah, it's
8.
9, it's all there.
Right off, right off.
10, 10, 10.
10.
All there,
Right
all
off.
there. Back line.
Behind.
Oh, sorry.
When it rains, it pours, trying to come back.
What was it? That was 80.
Was exactly the time they thought, so they
What
thought
was
it
Jen
would
though on
be
that one? Before.
good speed in that position, but it slides through the rings.
全进4区就行。
Draw to lie 3.
加油！加油！加油！全进4区。
报90来。90吧，可以。OK， 耐着点，准备给劲儿。1.5区边还行，看着点，看着点，下路非常好，支持力量。4区4区没问题，别太深啊，刷子位置啊。哦，刷的位置。哦，大一点。哦。
Well, they want to try and go top part of the house.
OK， 辛苦辛苦。
Right to the top of the 4-foot. Will lie 3.
14秒。
Lauren Wagner
好滑
will
哦。
play the hit. Stick in the 8-foot to score 1. The Australian skip out of Melbourne. Playing in her 2nd Pacific Championship, finished 5th her previous trip.
Force!
Trailing 7-2 in the game with her last of the 7th end.
Whoa, it's hanging.
Nothing this time from
Really
the front
hanging.
end.
Really hanging.
Trying to curl up. Get enough to remove that one. Chip off the side and roll away. It's going to be a steal of 2 more for China, and that'll make it a 9-2 game as Lauren Wagner unable to stick her shooter. And China, a convincing lead in this one, up 9-2 after 7 ends.
哎呀，啊，进油！还放一个呀？放啥进油？进油，那个进油来吧，来，1、2、加！ 线路大一点，可能会涩。确保进油，可以下线啊。
The 4th deuce of the game goes up for China, their 3rd consecutive 2 via the steal.
再来，再来，再来，嘿，再往下来点，嘿。
As this first stone, Xiao Riyi will look to go into the rings, and China will try to keep the focus, keep playing strong. They know they'll be into the semifinal. And semifinal against Korea. The winner of that getting a spot in the World Championship for their country. Loser will have to go to the World Qualification event. Riley Milliken need to get these guards in play. Really try and use the hammer, play a good solid hammer end. Couple of corner guards.
Whoa. No, it's not.
Nice work, Carly.
Yeah, perfect guard there.
Sorry.
Yep, really nice. Good positioning.
No, it's not.
It is still quite speedy, but I think that's because we clean. If
Yeah,
we stop
yeah,
cleaning,
yeah.
we'll dig in. But that
Look
was
at a
an
comparison of the leads. An advantage China, Xiao Rui, 89-63.
亮大，可以的，12，不碰上就放。哦，下线带着点儿，还行，可以下线。碰不着就放了。能碰能碰，但是碰着也容易磕出去。我看着也是啊，出去吧让他。
Well, they were looking to just tap that one up, and we have some finals as Hong Kong defeats Qatar 10-4. So Hong Kong,
Thank you for the game. Thank you for the game, Carly. Thank you.
with the win, improves their record to 3-4. And as they look over and see that Korea wins over Chinese Taipei, that drops Chinese Taipei to 3-4, meaning Hong Kong has got a spot in the playoffs as the 4th seed. So they will play Japan in one semifinal. China will play Korea. The 4 teams are set and they're positioning.
Sorry, Lauren. I think I just.
It's okay.
I was feeling well.
Sorry.
There are
All good.
the standings right now. So Japan and Korea both at 6-1. China at 5-1. The win will make that 3-way tie. Japan will get the 1st seed because of that draw shot challenge. Hong Kong beat Chinese Taipei, so that's how they get the 4th spot. 2 semifinals, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Winners of those 2 semifinals get a spot at the Worlds and will play for gold.
已经升了是吗
？8区啊，后区8、9。
哦，再调。
不用查了，9区、10区。
滑了吗？你这下面啊。OK。我是假的吧？
Well, Jiang Cindy, does that draw go right through the rings? Australia trying to finish off. Pause note, maybe get that score, then concede, finish off with them scoring with the hammer.
Yep, they'll have seen the other results and know that they've not gone their way. They would have to win. So it's the end of their Pacific Asia Championship.
Yep.
Want to finish on a high.
7. Yes.
Well, it's coming down.
Yes.
Gotta go. 7.
Yes, hard line. Yes.
Gotta go.
Yes. Right up, girls. Hard. Well.
Looking to tap this one back so they can use that corner guard.
China run out here. Chance to freeze the back one.
Good sweep.
No surprise with the score. That advantage at the 2nd position for Jiang Cindy. Kristen Sorleans.
Hard. 加一 hard。我。
Well, mistake there from
哦，
China that could have got off. But to
可以。
avoid running that back, they could have got off to curl to catch that guard.
I think same weight.
Same weight. Was that 85?
It's a case
70.
I got 70.
sometimes you just losing your focus a little bit, sort of thinking ahead.
Yeah, you're 9-2 up. You know you've qualified. Your mind can be starting to think about that semi-final.
It's close.
Just trying to stay in the here and now.
Whoa.
Looks up, reel up.
Whoa, go to kill.
Back house.
We were saying it, but
We
it's
need to
not
let
an
it
easy
come
thing
down.
to do.
No, we need to let it come down.
Back 12.
No,
Let yourself
leave
go thinking about
Leave
that
it, leave it,
one
leave it.
game, because it'll be a one game to get your country to the World Championship. A loss would be a trip to Finland, but you have to go and qualify. There's no guarantees. As much as these teams, the hardware here, third place would be a great medal for a team, but getting that qualification for the Worlds and getting to the Worlds, the Olympic qualifying points. Obviously, China doesn't need it as the host nation of the Olympic Winter Games coming in 2022. And they'll hit, roll away, just removing their opponent's stones. It is Australia lying one. This Australia team doesn't have access to the ice or on nearly as much as this Chinese team.
No, there's no curling ice in
I think
Australia.
It looks close.
It's close, looks a little up, I think.
Yeah, heavy up. No, back house.
Close for line. Close for line.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, it's dropping off.
Real hard.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah.
So a bit of lack of communication there from the sweepers
That's okay.
to say what the weight was.
Could have done the tick roll in.
I got 45.
Yeah, it's focused on so much that you forget sometimes to think of that there are other options you can have to try and take some of that speed off. Overthrown, chip that one. They could have rolled in to lie two. Now Shang Lijun play that run back.
Oh,
Just go over the top of that red one.
so close, but yet so far.
Comparison of the thirds. Jennifer Westhagen,
Time to get on that.
solid game on her hits, a little lower on her draws, but 75% to 89. Shang Lijun.
Yep, just have to keep persevering, try and get in behind this cover.
Close.
It's close.
Close. 7.
I think it needs a little.
6. 6.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Looks close.
7.
Whoa if you can.
Yep.
Coming down.
Yes, line. Gotta go.
Real hard line. Real
This
hard
one
line.
just diving to the wings. Can they get it by the guard?
sorry.
Won't.
Yep, yep, yep. A little bit.
The weight wasn't bad at all. They just lost it for
right.
line. Needed to anticipate that swing earlier.
Yeah, no, no.
So those two red Australian stones in to the rings right now. Hanyu gonna try and make them both go away.
Okay.
Trying to make the double takeout. Will go right through, just peels that top one. See the sweep a little bit to try and get it too curled.
Okay.
Come up a little bit more, they would have had a chance to make that double takeout. Still, Australia lying one.
85. What was Jen?
65.
65. Okay.
Comparison of the four stones.
Probably a 4.
Advantage, Hanyu
90.
of China. She's had a very strong game. Lauren Wagner down 9-2. No surprise, the struggles.
Probably.
Chance here. Come around this corner guard.
It's tight. I think it's light.
Lie to.
Yeah, not just Happy trying to go for the 2. Looking to make this possibly go for 3.
No, back house. Back house. Back house. No, it's coming through.
7. Sit. Be a 7. Be a 7.
What did you get on that?
80.
Well, that sums up the game really for her, doesn't it? Just struggled
10秒。
with her draw weight.
一点不漏，只能踏板。踏板吗？行，踏板。
Yeah, and the inconsistency costing them there. The chance for making it come around, you could score 3. Han Yu now playing quite weight to go after this one. Real big effort. Xiao Ruiyi, Jiang, Cindy. Try and get by the front. They're by. Look at that, great shot. Han Yu able to get at that one. Could not see much of that one.
Really nice controlled weight there. Well judged.
11秒15。
Just passes the top guard. No problem. Lies 3.
辛苦辛苦辛苦。
90 or even 95. Let's go 90. I like 95 with sweeping, but.
So just going for the dead draw.
95.
But there is backing there. It can be used.
Full 8.
这技术挺好，但我觉得得擦腰部。
对，
拐下去。
得一直擦。
So the final shot here, 8th end. Lauren Wagner
I think he needs it all the way. All the way.
needs to get this one to the 8-foot.
Line's good. Is it heavy?
No.
No. Full 8.
Make sure it's
close.
Get it. Full 8. Yes. Yes.
Oh, Milliken, Sorleans trying to get this one to the 8-foot.
They're all on it.
Do they have enough on this? Keep this one going, get it to the 8-foot. And that's the way this game has gone. Comes up short. They were thinking it was okay the whole way down. And it looks like it's a steal, and a steal of 1 for China. So one more now, 10-2. China leading Australia.
Just ask Jen what she wants to do. Like, I'm happy to play. Happy to play one more end, but.
这样，对，还这样，然后这样，行，来吧，1、2、3，那个，下回我不说，这样你给不给？
对。
I don't know. Look, girls, if you want to shake, I'm happy to. It's up to you. Do you want to? What did they get just then?
1.
1.
10-2. So it's 10-2.
Like, we're not coming back.
Yeah,
well,
no.
Let's go. Well, we've wasted too much time now,
Okay.
so we've got to play.
Okay, one more end, one more end. Let's go out on a score.
OK， 7，我的点大可能4。
9th end begins here. Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. Australia against China, the final game of round robin on the ice. All 3 wrapped up already. We know the semifinals are set. One will be Japan against Hong Kong. the other.
终于没有掉过中线了。
China against Korea. First stone into the top of the button.
3. Yeah, then.
Looks all there.
Maybe 4. Oh, then. 4. I think so.
Well, it's coming down a little. It's all there.
Yep.
2.
Just 2. Looks like it's digging a bit. Yes. Wide as you can. Yep. Gotta drag it. Gotta drag it. Gotta drag it. Gotta drag it. Gotta drag it.
Well, trying to get these in a good position. Corner guard, pretty good spot. China's going to put another one right into the heart of the rings.
好，3颗都行。好的。这边可能会减一点点。嗯，好，提一点。正常的。7，大爷带着点。
Xiao Riyi, the lead for this Chinese team out of Beijing, and actually bronze medalist in the mixed doubles in the Youth Olympic Games. I'd love to be able to play in Olympic Winter Games in her home country, home city.
这多大？12秒8。啊，没有人测反正。
Yep.
2 good stones there for the 20-year-old.
I think it's a bit down, really down.
Yep.
Really down. Yep.
Forward. Forward. Yeah.
Whoa.
So when you're 10-2 down, you don't really want your lead to be hitting.
Whoa.
Put another corner guard up. Opportunity for them. They don't get a chance to be on the ice surface all the time. They're playing on a real good surface here.
At least, yeah.
Head ice technician Jamie Rassis
More
had
like
his challenge with the
halfway
warmer weather outside, but it's been very consistent throughout the week. Actually seeing a little bit straighter than it was the other round robin games so far.
Although it's straighter, there's still really good swings to come around. You can bury behind cover on both hands, which is what you want.
好，行。球。
Well, the roll to the wing, opening things up. Just 1 guard, 1 stone in the house.
Do you think a 90? 4, 5.
Maybe even a 90.
Here's where you can use that guard.
That's
You
what I
really
said.
want
Oh,
to
I
try
thought
and
you
go
said
around.
80. So 90, perfect.
Yep, even if you're putting up another guard right now, it's not a disaster.
5.
No, stones in play are your friend right now.
Gotta go. I think you gotta go.
6.
4. I think you have to go for weight.
Nah, I think it's all.
Hard line, girl.
I think it's 6.
6. Yes, gotta go to 5. Well,
6, 7.
Oh.
Sorry, overswept it.
Well, they need to get a few behind that one, so
I don't think it's coming down that much.
No.
that one goes back 12 foot.
84.
For China, opportunity, they can get their peel game, make sure they're sharp on that. Go rip that back one out. They're gonna miss tight on the guard. Jiang Cindy out of Harbin, China. We'll get that one right on the nose, and China lies 2.
还是挺好的，就正好在点上。
China would probably have been happy rolling out there.
8秒多吧，7秒8。
bit less.
There is no backing for Australia to sit on.
It's close.
5, 6.
Yep, I think you gotta go line.
Yep.
Kristen
6.
Soreen's
Hurry. It's coming down.
a
Hurry.
nurse back in Melbourne.
Yes,
Hurry.
go, 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 girls. Yep.
Hurry.
Come on, guys. Yep, hard line, hard line, hard line. Go, 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 go. Hey, you're by, you're by, you're by. Well, okay, well, okay.
Good looking curling shot right here, right in behind. Top of the 8-foot for shot stone.
Do you like drawing the other way at 10?
I just don't know if it will cut across.
Yeah, well, just.
Shang Li Jun, third for this Chinese team at the Pacific Asia Curling Championship, host nation. We'll get rid of that one and stick around to lie 3. Again, more granite that can use as protection for Australia.
Yep, stones back to your friend to Australia.
Might be light. Held it a little bit.
He needs a little.
6. Take a look though.
7.
Not all there. All there. 8.
Room.
10. 10.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa. You can go. Yep, go now. Yep.
It's going to be 8.
Whoa.
Oh, right around.
Okay.
Just nibbling the edge of the forefoot.
I got 55, but I think I
held it.
Did it a bit quick.
China quite happy just to clear the front. Play the scoreboard.
Well, play the peel, they'll end up moving a bunch around because they catch that top one real thin. Open up that stone in the house, but look at the backing for that Australian stone now.
好像比他近呢，好像又没有，他没在里面，不是那个啊，不知道哪个近，比他近。
If it bites, it's not the end of the world, but want it in front.
So they want it out in front. Jennifer Westhagen. This Australian team coming in with a 2-4 record.
I think it's all there.
Different line. 3. 3.
No, 4.
Just clean.
Yep.
You think 3?
Yep, drag it over.
I think 3.
It needs to curl. It needs to curl. Drag it as far as you can. Keep going.
Far as you can, girls.
Yep, far as you can. Far as you can. Hard! Hard! Far as you can. Far as you can.
Drag it.
Trying to get it across to cover that one, but still open.
What was that?
I got 70.
I got 77.
行，要不行就掉下来把站位打了都行。行 ，OK， 行。
Looks like Han Yu looked at get to the inside of this one. Not even worried if you jam, but try and make the hit and roll.
对，就
To lie
打
2.
甩来啊，9秒，行，9秒，9秒5吧，啊，收一点，掉下来刮开也可以。
Real good 2 in behind this guard to make this hit and roll. Oh, past the front, make the hit, and we'll roll big. Actually got too close to that guard. That was a couple behind the tee line for Australia to use.
我刚才一动，难度一动，哎，啊，站扔了。
Top 4 is what we're going for.
Yeah. Holly.
So great chance.
I thought?
You've got the guard.
77
You've
here.
got the one back tee.
And it was the 3.
Dead freeze.
90?
I think a 90. I think it's a little heavy down this.
90. Okay.
And try and lock this one on. Is there
I
a
think
tougher
we
shot
need
in
to-
curling than the freeze?
I think we need to get on it.
The freeze is one of the toughest. Line
Quite
and
wide.
weight
It's quite wide, actually.
has to be spot on.
85.
But so does every shot. Line and weight's key for every shot you play.
Top 4 buried. Okay.
that the middle, Jen? Middle,
This is where your sweepers need to be very accurate in their judgment. Put this one on. I heard the conversation. Australia trying to finish this game strong, trying to finish the event strong, the championship. Well, remember, okay, we played that last time. We made our last double shots. We get a point.
Yep. 8.
Try and get a chance at 2 now if you make.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa. In the back. Whoa.
This one, good weight, right to the button. But those 2 that are potential backing, not a real threat.
Doesn't make it very difficult for China to remove.
Han Yu will be happy just making the nose hit.
收一点点。
Sports hero Wang Bingyu, a world champion, Olympic bronze medalist. She'd love to be able to get to a world championship, get to an Olympic winter games. 19 years old. Will punch that one through off their own. And lie 1-2. Make the double. Score 2. Available for Australia. Well, this be a way to finish it for Australia. You make this double takeout, you score 2.
Nose.
Yep.
Control? Nose for 2. Is it control or? Control, yeah. Yep.
A 10-2 game. Result. A win by China puts them into that semifinal against Korea.
Control!
Strong for the win, Australia. They're out of the playoffs, but trying to finish with this double takeout.
Yep. Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nose hit on that Yellowstone, make the double, catches it wide, and it is going to be a steal of 1 more for China.
I thought that might happen.
And that is it. That will end round robin as Australia concedes defeat. A win for China, 11-2. They beat Australia in this one. So China's into the semifinals as they go round robin 6-1. Just 1 loss for first timers at this Pacific Asia Curling Championship. Australia will finish a 2-5 record this season. It'll come down to 1 game to get to the final spot in the World Championship for China. Han Yu.
场地后期还是会比之前掉的大了一点。
Seventh end of this last round robin game. Lauren Wagner, 7th end, has the hit here. Her final shot.
Really
nothing from the sweepers, unable to control this out of their hands. Will hit, roll away, and it's going to be a steal of 2 for China.
Yeah.
8th end, and there's 2 in the 12-foot. Australia again with the hammer, trying to snap this streak of steals. The out-turn draw to the 8-foot. Sweepers thought it was pretty good, left it a long ways, and then get it on it late. All 4 of them to try and get it in there. Not enough. And it'll be a steal of 1 more for China. Ninth end, Australia. Few chances in this one. Have a chance for 2 if you can make the double takeout.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
Wagner on the high side will get rid of 1, but rolls out. And it leaves another steal and handshakes and a victory for China. They'll finish round robin with a 6-1 record and into the playoff picture.
Thank you very much.
All the other scores here in session 15 was that 11-2 China win over Australia, 11-0 Japan shuts out Kazakhstan, 10-4 Hong Kong beats Qatar, and Korea 14-2. They defeat Chinese Taipei as that rounds out round robin play. The 8 teams in the field. Here's how round robin finished. Japan gets the 1 seed because of the draw shot challenge. Korea and China 2 and 3. While Hong Kong sneaks in with the 4 seed at 3 and 4, tied with Chinese Taipei, but they beat them in round robin play. While Australia and Kazakhstan 2 and 5. Qatar 0 and 7 here at this year's championship. And it sets the stage for our playoffs with those 4 teams into this sudden death playoff time. Japan will take on Hong Kong, winner to the gold medal game. Korea versus China. Winner of that will play the winner of Japan-Hong Kong. Losers will play in the bronze medal game here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championship 2019.
Congratulations, your first Pacific Asia Championship, and you're in the semi-final. How do you feel about your team's performance so far?
首先祝贺你，其次就是你是第一次参加这次比赛，然后是您觉得这次比赛到目前为止表现怎么样？
我觉得我们的队伍状态也是一场比一场好，然后我的状态。 毕竟第一次打这种成年人的大赛，然后第一场可能会存在一些心态上的紧张，但现在都克服了，而且状态也一直很好。
So the team players, they performed better and better, and so you said it's my first time to take part in this competition, and. At the very beginning, I'm a little nervous, but now I feel better and better.
And semi-final tomorrow, how will you and your team prepare?
明天是半决赛了，你的队伍准备的怎么样了？
我们都准备好了，然后又用一样的心态去面对半决赛。
We are ready, and we will do our best to for the semi-final tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Well, Han Yu and China is into the semifinals. We'll have those for you tonight and tomorrow. One more men's session for Rona Howie, myself, Luke Coley, our entire crew. Thanks for watching the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019.
Thank you.